Hey kids, if you think big construction sites are really cool, you won't want to miss any of the exciting videos from Popular Mechanics for Kids. Join Mike and his friend Pop as they learn what it takes to build skyscrapers, bridges, tunnels, and spaceships. In How Do They Build Skyscrapers, you'll see lots of awesome machinery in action. And you'll learn how builders create some of the biggest structures on Earth.
So Pop, there's one thing I'm not clear about. How do all those workmen know what they're doing?
They work from the plans. Here's a set. Ah, nice to see I haven't lost my touch. Well, after they build the foundation of the building, it's time to build the frame. The frame is just like a giant erector set. Steel beams and columns called girders are lifted high into the air by a crane, where they are bolted together to make a huge skeleton of a building.
It is just like a giant erector set, Pop.
I told you. The builders who frame skyscrapers have a very dangerous job because they're up so high. Now, they can't be afraid of heights, and they have to have very good balance.
Ever wonder how they build tunnels? Well, now you can find out. In How Do They Build Tunnels, you'll see giant drills boring through tons of rock. And you'll learn how tunnels are built underwater.
After they dug a big trench in the bottom of the harbor, they brought the tubes out, 2 at a time, into the harbor on these barges. Check this aerial view out now. See, this is a crane that lowers the sections into place.
No, it's just like a computer game.
You're right, Mike. It's exactly the same kind of picture. Check this out. Looks like the back end of a jet engine.
Is that what the inside of the tunnel will look like when it's done?
Hey, you catch on quick.
Think it's cool to drive over the water? Then you'll want to check out How Do They Build Bridges.
Yikes! Did anyone get hurt?
Luckily, no. But the builder of this bridge learned a big lesson about what wind can do to a suspension bridge.
Hey kids, check this out. We're at a real live construction site where workmen are building a beam bridge called a fixed span bridge. The bridge is being built so the road can cross over the water below. Now, the first thing the workmen had to do was build the piers for the beams to span across. Now they are building one of the sections of bridge deck. Let's take a look.
Yep, you're absolutely right, Mike. Little by little, they build the road across from one pier to the next.
For space shuttle fans, How Do They Build Spaceships will take you on the ride of your life. Learn what's involved in building the space shuttle and what it takes to fly it.
Hey, what's going on here? Hey, Pop, get me out of here!
Mike, hang on! And don't forget to fasten your safety belt!
Pop, this isn't funny. Pop, I don't know how to fly this thing.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Main engine start. 3 engines up and burning.
The red button, Mike!
Where, Pop, where?
Liftoff of Space Shuttle Discovery.
Look for Popular Mechanics for Kids videos wherever videos are sold. We guarantee you'll have truckloads of fun.
How do they tunnel below? Where the water should flow. just wanna know, how do they build that building so high? How do they build that bridge so wide? How do they build that tunnel below and launch a space shuttle in the sky? In the sky! When all these questions come over me, Poppy tries to tell me why. How do they build that building so high? How do they build that bridge so wide? How do they build that tunnel below and launch a space shuttle in the sky? In the sky! How do they build that?
How do they do this? How do they make tunnels that don't cave in all the time? I bet Pop will know. Pop, where are you? Oh, there you are. Gosh, I wish I had you to hold up my tunnel.
Hey, Mike! What's the matter? You having a problem?
Am I ever? How come I can't make a tunnel that won't cave in?
Well, let's you and I go take a look. I see two problems right off. First, you're not digging deep enough. And second, if you're going to dig a tunnel in soft sand like this, you need something to help support it with. Let's see. Hey, hand me that.
What?
That paper towel tube.
This? Why?
Just bring it over here. Let me show you something. First, dig a trench. Good. Now, put the tube in the trench. And now cover it over with sand. Go on. And voila! Instant tunnel.
Yeah, but isn't this cheating?
Cheating? Oh no, mon ami. That's called being safe. You either have to know that the ground you're tunneling through will support itself, or you have to create a support structure for it. Tunnels have been used for centuries by people to help them take shortcuts through mountains, under cities, or below bodies of water. Cars and trucks go through tunnels. Trains go through tunnels. Even people go through tunnels. You know, they really are a clever way of getting someplace without having to go the long way. But building tunnels is a big job, Mike. It takes a lot of people and a long time. These days we have big machines that dig tunnels, and it still takes a long time. I mean, just imagine how long it took when people were digging some of the first tunnels. But no matter how you dig a tunnel, you have a lot of rocks and dirt to get rid of. Mike, even before people were digging tunnels, lots of different animals had figured out that this was a good idea. I mean, look at these ants. See, they dig tunnels to find safe places to live, to store their food, and to lay their eggs. And they're not even trying to get from one place to the other.
But Pop, how do they dig so deep? I mean, there's a tunnel near my house that my dad says goes all the way under the bay. And it's so long, I can't even hold my breath from one end to the other.
you think? Pretty impressive, huh?
Wow! Where are we, Pop?
We're in Chicago, where they're digging a 270-foot deep tunnel.
So what kind of road are they building, Pop?
Oh, this tunnel's not for a road. This is a flood control tunnel. If there's a lot of rain, they'll open up this tunnel to let the water through so the rivers don't flood.
Wow, I thought all tunnels were for roads.
Well, most people think of tunnels as being for cars and trains. But there are more water and sewer tunnels than any other kind. Hey, Mike, did you know that there are different ways to dig a tunnel?
Really?
Yeah. Here they're using a tunnel boring machine. It's like a huge drill that cuts through solid rock.
Boy, I'd love to see that.
Well, you just might get that chance, Buster Brown.
Enough talk about all these tunnels. Let's go down inside.
Yeah.
Hey, you see that guy over there? That's Lou. He's the safety manager. He's the guy to talk to. And that means it's time for me to make my exit.
Hey Mike, welcome to the Deep Tunnel Project. Good to see
Hello.
you. Already got your hard hat, you got your boots. Let's go ahead and get this rain jacket on you. Gets a little wet down there sometimes. Okay, get that all buttoned up. Okay. We got your safety belt. You got your flashlight and your self-rescue, which I went over earlier. Okay, put those in your belt for right now. Here's your safety glasses. And last but not least, here's your earplugs.
So, Lou, what are the earplugs for?
As you can tell, we've got a lot of equipment running that makes a lot of noise here. What the earplugs do is protect your hearing from the excessive noise. Ready to go in the tunnel, Mike?
You bet I am.
Okay, let's go. Okay, what I need you to do is once you get in here, we got these ropes here. These are called lanyards. So what I'm going to do is we need to go ahead and tie you off. That's the purpose of the safety belt. It's 225 feet to the very bottom right here. The way the tunnel is set up is for every 1,000 feet of run, you drop 1 foot. That's the pitch. That's to make sure that the water goes in the right direction. As you can tell, it's pretty hot up here, but once you get down below in the tunnel here, the average temperature is around 60 to 65 degrees. So this is a place to be in the summertime.
Lou took me down into the tunnel and explained to me that this project had been going on for almost 2 years, and so far they had dug 7 miles. But they still had a little more than a mile to go. And it was a little scary down there. It seemed like the tunnel went on forever. Lou introduced me to Rob. He's one of the tunnel engineers. We took a very bumpy truck ride all the way to the end of the tunnel to see the tunnel boring machine.
Going to the heading. That's your minor term for where the machine is at. That's where you're digging at all times. You're always digging at the heading.
When we got there, I couldn't believe how big the machine was and how loud it was. Boy, was I glad I had my earplugs. First, we met some miners who drill into the ceiling of the tunnel. They drill these holes so they can put huge screws into the rock to keep chips of rock from falling off the ceiling. I even got to drill a hole myself. Then we climbed underneath the tunnel boring machine. It felt like we were going into a submarine. Water was dripping everywhere, and there were millions of hoses and cables. Rob told me that right on the other side of the wall was a cutter head, which was digging into the rock. Because it was so loud, we had to use sign language, but I understood him anyway. This is what the tunnel boring machine looks like. It braces itself against the walls of the tunnel with these huge hydraulic pads. Then it digs the tunnel, very slowly, about 6 feet at a time. After it has dug 6 feet, the hydraulic pads release, and the rest of the tunnel boring machine catches up with the cutter head. Then it starts another cycle. Each cycle is called a stroke, and it takes about half an hour. Bob showed me how the hydraulic pads release and caught up with the cutter head. This is an old videotape of a tunnel boring machine breaking through a wall. It gives you a good view of the cutter head, which is impossible to see most of the time. This tunnel is done. Everybody gets very excited when a tunnel is completed. See the teeth? Then Rob told me he would let me drive the tunnel boring machine. He took me to the cabin where the operator sits. I couldn't believe I was actually driving a tunnel boring machine. Every hour, 900 tons of rocks come out of the tunnel, and they ride along this conveyor belt all the way from the other end. Pop, didn't your mother ever tell you not to mess around with the business end of a tunnel boring machine?
Well, actually, no, but I wish she had.
So, what did they use before they had tunnel boring machines?
Manpower, my friend. Shovels, pickaxes, and a lot of sweat.
Wow, Pop, that looks like hard work.
It was, Mike. It was really hard work.
But look, they loaded the rocks on a conveyor belt just like we saw in Chicago.
Yep. And sometimes they even use explosives. In fact, they still do that today, too.
That was cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's really dangerous. Those guys have to really know what they're doing.
Just like you?
No. Not like me. I was just messing around. To work with real explosives is a job for trained professionals.
So, does anyone actually use this buried tube idea to build a tunnel?
Hey, you bet they do.
In Boston, they needed another way for people to get to the airport, which is on the other side of Boston Harbor from the city. It's a long way off, Mike. They started by building these huge tubes, each one the length of a football field.
Wow, those are pretty big paper towel tubes.
Yeah. They look like jet engines, don't they, Mike?
Sure do.
Be a pretty big plane. Then, after they dug a big trench in the bottom of the harbor, they brought the tubes out, 2 at a time, into the harbor on these barges.
Cool. Do the tugboats push the barges?
Mm-hmm. See? It takes 2 tugboats to push 2 tubes. Then, check this out. Oh, this is great. A computer made these pictures so the engineers could see how the tunnel would fit together under the water. Now, here goes the barge across to the other side of the harbor. Woo-hoo! Check this aerial view out now. See, this is a crane that lowers the sections into place.
Well, it's just like a computer game.
You're right, Mike. It's exactly the same kind of picture. Check this out. Looks like the back end of a jet engine.
Is that what the inside of the tunnel will look like when it's done?
Hey, you catch on quick. Well, factor 12, Mr. Scott.
Ugh, what's that?
Oh, that's just concrete. Because after they finish the building of the tunnel, they have to build a road so people can drive through it. So you see, they pump the concrete through this long hose. It goes all the way down into the tunnel. Oh, it's a good thing he's got his mask on.
It looks like it's almost done.
Yep, almost.
Pretty soon it will look just like the computer said it would.
Yeah, and then you can try to hold your breath through a brand new tunnel.
Yeah.
I bet you can't do it.
Bet you I can. 2 weeks allowance.
2 weeks allowance?
You're right, Pop. They do it just like this.
I told you.
I never knew they could do it that way. I always thought they had to dig way down under the water and that kind of tunnel would leak like crazy.
Nope. It's really pretty simple when you think about it. But just like any big job, though, it takes a lot of people and planning to do it right.
Boy, I'll say. Hey, Pop, if I were to build a secret tunnel from my house to this workshop, what kind of tunnel would it be?
I think it'd have to be an old-fashioned shovel and pickaxe job.
Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to park a tunnel boring machine in the backyard without my mom getting a little suspicious.
Yeah. Hey, I'll see you later.
Yeah, see you, Pop. And hey, Pop, you got a pickaxe on you?
Well, yeah. But it might take a long time if you use mine. I'll see you, Mike.
Wanna know how do they build that building so high? How do they build that bridge so wide? How do they build that tunnel below and launch a space shuttle in the sky? How do they build that building so high? How do they build that bridge so wide? How do they build that tunnel below and launch a space shuttle in the sky? In the sky. How do they build that?